here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go.
If you can't handle a joke delivered by a comedian, don't sit in the first, second, or third row. Okay? So when I decided to start a podcast, I played around with a bunch of ideas. I was going to talk about the 2020 election, which was, I know, a whole 2 years ago. So I am indeed a procrastinator. And that yawn you just heard, that is my 1-year-old border collie, Dodge. Hey, how you doing? Can I record? Thank you. Okay, yep, that's going to be edited out. Then life happens. Good. Maybe I'll keep it in. Guess what? Now you got to go here so that I can do some work. Okay, well, be quiet, please. Thank you. Okay. Dodge, enough. Please. Come on. Shove a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, after years of vacillating, there were myriad topics that I spoke ad nauseum about to my mom, husband, and, feverishly added comments to videos posted by some YouTubers and, on HuffPost, which, by the way, I'm no longer a member of. So I woke up on the 28th of March, 2022, to a buzz about Will getting jiggy with it, Fresh Prince Smith smacking Chris Rock. And, at first I thought it must be a joke. And I wondered, why were folk so up in arms about this skit, right? Then after more looking on social media, being inundated with video after video after video of folks giving their commentary on YouTube, I realized this was real. So since everybody's talking about it, I said, you know what? Now's the time as any to speak your voice, girl. And that's what I'm going to do. So welcome to the first episode of Rusty Coffee, a podcast about topics I have an opinion on. So Will Smith done slapped Chris Rock. Will Summertime Smith done smacked rib joint customer Chris Rock. And for those who are unaware of both of these fine gentlemen's resumes, Summertime was the John, and that's Philly lingo. Back when Will was a rapper, and the quote rib joint customer was when Chris Rock acted in the film I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Anyway, I forced myself to look at what happened to elicit such a Neanderthal reaction, and no shade to Neanderthals, but such a reaction by Will Smith. And I read that Chris said a joke, and then Will marched up on stage, smacked Chris, then walked back off stage, sat down, and then proceeded to say the whole "keep my wife's name out of your mouth," which can I just say that saying is just okay, please, just enough. Can we find a new phrase? So when I heard what Chris said, I was like, what? And okay, y'all, I don't know if you guys thought this, but for real, I said, what? Jada's gonna be in G.I. Jane too? I didn't hear that. I mean, look, we have Tom Cruise revamping Top Gun's Maverick, and he's in his 50s, and so why not recast Jada as G.I. Jane? You know, maybe the SEALs with everything going on, you know, they've relaxed the age standard, or maybe Jada was the first SEAL and, you know, now she's a captain. Who knows? But whatever it was, you know, I was there for it. But then I realized that was the joke. The G.I. Jane reference was the joke. And I was all sorts of confused. I felt like Miss, you know, Sophia in Color Purple. You know that scene, you know, how you doing, Miss Sophia, you know, confused. Anyway, so here's my breakdown. Will acted like a grand scale cornball, a violent one at that. And he did not act like a man defending his wife's honor. I think with all this talk, you know, of entanglement that Will has been probably emasculated by Jada for a very long time. I mean, Jada was tight with Pac. Okay, that's Tupac for those of you who don't know Jada's background. I think Jada is straight hood, for real. I mean, did you see the eye roll? That was classic Keke Palmer eye roll, okay? And Will is, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, bubblegum Will. Will wasn't no gangster rapper. I mean, he was rapping about, you know, out in Philly, we be out of the park, right? So while they're both, you know, they're a handsome couple, and, you know, they decided to get married, I think Jada probably always held a burning desire to be with someone hard and rough and tough. You know what I'm saying? And after many years of her biting her tongue publicly, right? And probably getting sick and tired of everybody sweating Will Smith, she probably got so comfortable with saying things like, you know, quote, everybody loves you, but they don't know you can't satisfy me, you know, da 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 da. And Will's response to anything she's ever said was probably never rough enough for her. Why? Because Will was always in a movie. He was probably always on set somewhere. So, you know, he was like, I am not studying you, Jada. I got Independence Day to film. Thank you very much. And Jada's entanglement with that young man by the name of August proves that. And the fact that she called it an entanglement, I mean, that's just sheer, there's an audacity to that. That, no, it wasn't an affair. No, I didn't cheat. I'm going to make up a new name. It was an entanglement. You know, I probably adding some class to what she did, which was step outside her marriage. And you know, Will is no Boy Scout, excuse me. He too allegedly also stepped outside of his marriage. But with all of Will's success as an A-list actor, you know, he probably has folks delivering scripts to his door. But in spite of that, he still did not measure up to Jada. And I think Jada felt he was this big old cornball, and she didn't respect him, period. So fast forward to the joke. And I mean, did y'all see? Will was laughing. and then he looks over at Jada, I guess, right? And oh, by the way, Jada has alopecia. And from what I saw on social media, she is handling it like a champ. She's absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could talk about her character, neither here nor there. But Jada is beautiful, no doubt about it. And she's she's had several different hairstyles for a long time. So the fact that she is now embracing the medical condition, which you can either wear wigs or say, you know what, F it, I'm bald, alopecia, it is what it is, I'm gonna own it. And she owned it. I mean, she looked beautiful. She looked stunning that night in that green dress and the earrings and her makeup, her bone structure. Anyway, she did. So I don't get all the, Will was defending her narrative. He was defending her. That's a narrative that I kept hearing and reading. And, look, okay, that's some folks' opinions, but, it's not mine. Anyway, Jada gives Will a look. And in my opinion, it wasn't a look of, you better go up there and do something to Rock. No. I think that look was, what the heck you laughing at? Oh, you find this funny too? And Will, y'all, look, Will has seen that look so many times. That look of disgust, of irritation, being annoyed and, just displeasure, resentment, wrath, he's seen that look before. And it's a look that has been perfected by Jada. And look, full disclosure, I have perfected that look as well. And, you know what that look is. Don't play. We've all seen it done by our mama or our auntie or your grandmother. When that look is given and you receive that look, no words need to be said. You know from that look that you are in trouble. So Jada gives him the look. Will swallows his grin and then decides, he can't be shamed. And this is his moment. So he feels he has to, defend her honor. That's one of the opinions. Show Jada that he's not some cornball. He's not some simp. He's not some loser. He's tough, like Pop tough. So he mustered up all of Philly, walked up there, open-handed, slapped Chris Rock, then marched back down, probably looking at Jada for approval on the sly, and then proceeded to say what he said twice. And I just saw that while Will was slapping Rock from a different viewpoint vantage, Jada was laughing. Did y'all see that? She laughed, y'all. Look, I disagree that Chris was disrespecting Jada for real. It was a joke. It was probably if you guys have ever listened to any of Chris Rock's old comedy specials, Chris can use some language, like Bernie Mac language, like Richard Pryor language, like Eddie Murphy language. You know what I'm saying? He is not Sinbad. Okay, the type of joke that Chris made during the Oscars was like Sinbad type of jokes. Because Sinbad never cursed during his comedy set. He never used profanity. So, if you've ever watched Def Comedy Jam or the Kings of Comedy or any comedy show, you know that some comedians uses the people who sit in the first, second, or third row as fodder for their jokes. Nothing new. So don't sit in those rows, or if you're going to sit in those rows, get you some thick skin. Jada wasn't insecure about her head. She was raving about it, talking about she don't give a damn what anybody thinks about her head. Oh my gosh, I don't know. The other thing that got me is when Will sat down, right, and more things are coming out, that the police talked to the producer of the Emmys, and they asked Will to leave, and he declined. But when he won, because Rock declined to press charges, the folks in the audience gave him a standing ovation. You have folks saying Chris deserved it. I'm like, were you raised in a barn? No shade to barns, okay? Why are we condoning this level of barbaric behavior and excusing it? And no, ma'am, Pam, Will, again, he was not sticking up for black women and our hair. I keep hearing that argument, and I'm just like, yo, is it me? I mean, seriously. That to me is the laziest argument. It really is. It's like generalizing and saying that every single black woman needs black men to stick up for us because we've been, our hair has been the subject. I mean, granted, I understand. I wear my natural hair proudly. But this wasn't it, y'all. This wasn't it. Here's what Will could have done, and I saw this argument on different opinions, and I have to agree with one of the best arguments or opinions on the subject I read was that of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Oh my gosh, he hit the nail on the head. I mean, Will could have sat there, not laughed, sent a message to Chris Rock, with a stare, like, not player, that wasn't it. He could have used the opportunity to talk about alopecia and talk about, what, my wife Jada is suffering from this, etc. But I mean, look how stunning she is, etc. He could have caught Jada's stare, because she could have still threw the stare. I mean, or Jada could have, handled the quote unquote joke without being offended. I don't know. Will became the 5th black actor, male black actor, to win Best Lead Actor. And prior to that, he did something so barbaric and stupid. But shout out to Chris for not retaliating in kind, because Lord knows he had every right to. But he could just get some tussin, a little bit of tussin, dab it on his cheek, and he'll be all right. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that. Thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Rusty Coffee, a podcast where I like to talk about things that I have an opinion on. Follow, share, and talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.